What I'm saying is that when the time will come that in helping other people, you'll be helping yourself and your family. And conversely, in withholding from others, you will be harming your own people. Psalm 83 is a depiction of King David being surrounded by many peoples. It is prophetic of what we, the remnant, will soon be facing. And there's many videos about Psalm 83, the Psalm 83 war. Look a few of them up. Most of them are misinterpreted grossly. They don't have a clue as to what they're talking about. But they do realize, they recognize that Psalm 83 is prophetic. Where it's going to happen, how it's going to happen, when it's going to happen, most people are clueless. Okay, you could say I am too. So I'm just one of the mix in there. But I believe I do know what's going to happen. It is prophetic that of what we, the remnant, will soon be facing, and it will take an unfathomable number of people to survive that time. Now, in that incident, and this is from Stephen Collins, who you can read about this in the Lost 10 Tribes Found. The Lost 10 Tribes Found, yeah. And now he's broken that into other books. He's got 4 books or maybe more. This was a man who's such a good writer that's a multi-millionaire, maybe billionaire, went to him, took him around in his plane and chopper and whatever, showed him all of his holdings, and he said, carte blanche, blank check. You do whatever you want to do, research and write. You're one of the few people that keep me up at night reading. So, I ought to read his book. Fascinating stuff. Anyway, so what happened at that point in time was King David went out to face an enemy. He got out there, and all of a sudden, he had an army at his back. It was a trap. He was surrounded, basically, and he wheeled his army of 1 million men. This is the facts and figures that Collins gets with a lot of support. He's an impeccable scholar. Wheeled his army around and fought 2 fronts at the same time and won. So, beautiful psalm. The a cappella version of it by Carl Klang, if you can find that. When I heard that, I called it the song. The song. To me, it was so powerful, so prophetic, so moving, so deep, so, wide, so powerful. All right. It will take an unfathomable number of people to survive that time. What that critical mass is, I do not know, but it will be several million people, I believe. More than that. This was a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. On the other hand, if, say, 10 million people are all that remain from the entire population of this country, having enough of a base of skills, knowledge, resources, tools, etc., will be all that prevents us from living in the Stone Age days instead of the pioneer days. I hope you get the picture. Enough to start making a difference immediately in your family, in your neighborhood, in your community, and in your region. For many, with the selfish survivalist attitude of us four and no more, it will be a matter of life and death, their own. And for far too many of them, it will be death. Many will commit unjustified murder, thus affecting their eternal fate, while others may kill the very person God sent to them with the knowledge or skills to save their life. I've talked about that before. He knows you're going to have a chainsaw accident, and so he sends a physician, and the guy's bloody, and so you kill him. You think he's a zombie because you've been practicing on your zombie targets for so many years. Shit. One of the zombie targets is a doctor. He's got a stethoscope around his neck. Yeah, and I've showed him on video before. Or an herbalist. You know, he knows there's a pandemic coming, and he sends someone who has the knowledge to heal. You know, I've got the in a box around here, I've got the salt pipe and I've got the dust mask and whatnot, you know. But, you know, dunk them in, spray them with salt brine solution, dunk them in salt brine, let them dry. You've got a salt, you know, a disease-killing dust mask. Not just filtering, but killing. You have filtration of water and you have purification. That's two different things. You can filter stuff, you can purify it. A salt mask like that would be both a filter and a purifier. Two things in one. Two things in one. All right. I have written extensively and at length on many aspects of survival and preparedness, with a major focus being that what is commonly termed preparedness and survivalist literature is grievously lacking tactically and even more so strategically. There is like virtually zero strategic thinking in any survivalist literature. And that includes the survival, what is it, the Strategic Guide to Relocation in America in the USA by Joel, I can't remember, whatever his name is. Think about it in a minute. But anyway, Tactical Guide to Relocation in America, yeah. Joel Skousen. It should be called Tactical. There's nothing strategic in it. It's just like warm, fuzzy feelings if you want to move to Missouri, warm, fuzzy feelings if you want to move to Kentucky, warm, fuzzy feelings if you want to move to South Dakota. You know, it's just like, it's just a way to pat you on the back, you know, make you think like you're doing something right. He does, you know, his biggest bow down or kudos or whatever, his biggest recommendation is the Ozarks, but that doesn't take away from the fact that he's killing a lot of other people. Put simply, they are very short-sighted and drastically limited in planning and perspective. Most of them should not be advising people at all. I fear they're going to kill more people than they help. Time will tell. My viewpoint is that we need a radical change of lifestyle. Now, the whole Beyond Off-Grid documentary, watch it, buy it, watch it. Watch my 4 videos of interviews, my interview parts. Very minimal. I got like 3 little 10-second snippets in the thing. And that's okay. I mean, I was the Johnny-come-lately. I was the very last one interviewed. You know, everybody had been interviewed before winter started. I got interviewed in the spring, and, you know, it's not... I didn't know how they could get anybody else in it other than Michael Bunker. Michael Bunker was the driving force behind it. And I'm not knocking it, but it's loaded with good stuff, packed with good stuff. But and Michael Bunker says we have to completely change our thinking. You know, we have to get beyond off-grid. Not just off-grid, but we need to be beyond off-grid. We need to grow our own food and everything else. And he constantly talks about, if you listen to him a lot or read his stuff a lot, he talks about something that's very important. Ceteris paribus, all things being equal. Ceteris paribus, all things being equal. C-E-T, but in Latin that's a hard K, it's a K sound. If all things were equal, yeah, this would be great. If all things were equal, this would be great. And I'm going to come back to that in a minute.